Hey there, Towards, and today I'm going to be covering the top 5 mistakes that most of the Blade Symphony players make. At the same time, I'll also be covering what you should be doing instead. So this is going to be one of the most useful tutorials I will put up in the next, let's say, 3 months or something. Right, start off this list is number 5, the stance. There's multiple stances in the game, of course, and fast gets defeated by balanced, balanced gets defeated by heavy, and heavy gets defeated by air, and again air gets defeated by fast. Now, when playing your opponent, generally you want to know what stance they're on. So I'm going to tell them to counter my balances. So I like you want to counter my balance as, let's say, judgment. There we go. I'm going to charge my balance, and now I can't approach him anymore. He's going to charge us heavy, and I kind of have to back off. This is what you don't want to be in. He's reacting exactly the way he should react, because I can't approach him when he's charging his heavies. Now, this seems like a very logical and simple thing to do, but nobody seems to care for that. Very often, I would be charging something or whatever, and everyone's just like, "Oh, okay, you're in that stance. I don't really care. Just go on with life." And fast versus fast happens, balance versus balance happens, heavy versus heavy happens, etc., etc. And you can just simply outparry them. You can't approach someone who's charging at a higher stance unless you want to get hit. Simple as that. I might have covered this before in a different tutorial video, but you know, this is gonna be a little. This is gonna have a little bit more content than the last one, a little more useful content than the last one. Anyway, we're going to number 4, HP. I'm gonna duel him. Let's do it like a normal duel. And I'm gonna try to get him on low HP. And then see what he does. Alright, it should be low enough. He's using heavy luck time attacks, which is exactly the thing what you should not do. On low HP, the thing what you want to be doing is play exactly the same way, unless you're giving your opponents free hits. Otherwise than that, play exactly the same way as you have in the entire match. Because if you play with high luck time attacks, you're going to try to get that lucky one hit, but most of the time you're just going to get fast and it's GG. It's over. No. I'm on a little bit lower side of my HP, but I haven't started playing any different. Still the same. I'm going to give him extra low HP and not kill him. And he does 2 lock time attacks, which gives me 2 chances to kill him. And probably after that he gave me another chance to kill him. So that's what you shouldn't do when you're low HP. You shouldn't use those heavy attacks, those attacks that give you no space to escape afterwards. If you're low HP, you want to use the small attacks, you want to keep using the small attacks and do chip away to your opponent, or do one massive combo and you're 100% sure you're going to hit that heavy hit. Or even kill your opponent. That's another reason why you could potentially use it. But I have done that, I have tried that before, and most of the times I just lose trying to do heavy attacks when I'm low HP without being in position. Like if I'm already in position for a combo, of course you can use a heavy to finish a combo or something. But generally to get there, you can't use a heavy luck time attack. Alright, as a bonus to this list, I'm going to add something that I use when I'm playing a little bit more risky, or I should say a little bit more lazy. But you can also use this to just improve your win-loss ratio, which is risk and reward. If I approach him, let's say I dash forward and I want to do 3 fasts, right? Just block. So if I dash forward, I do 3 fasts. So, how much damage would I risk if he fights back? Like 20 damage roughly that. So I risk my 3 fast combo and then go into the 4th after that for about 20 damage. The entire sequence, I risk about 20 damage. So if I fail this 5 times, I lose. But if I succeed this maybe 4 times, because if I succeed, I do roughly 30 damage, I win. Let's see how much damage it actually does. Just take the hits. Let's take the hits. How much damage was that, roughly? Oh. Map change, that's okay. Further explanation, risk rewards. Like I said, you risk a lower amount of HP to inflict a higher amount of HP of damage. If you keep doing that, over time, you should most likely have a higher chance to win than you have to lose. Unless you fail 3-4 times in a row, of course. 18 damage, that's not true. Let's try that in a duel. Right, 30 damage-ish. I know, hit me with 1 balanced. 25 damage, alright. So, I risk 25 damage for roughly 28 to 30 damage, depending on the multi-hits. And that was a full multi-hit slash, so usually you risk about 22 damage for 30 damage. So he needs to win like 4-5 times, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, 4 times. I need to win 4 times ish too. It's okay. Those are okay odds. Could be better. If I added a heavy in there, I would be able to win in 3 hits, 3 combos. So that's what I usually would do. So basically, when I play this game and I don't want to be too, I want to be a little bit lazy about it. I can just look at how much damage I'll get. And I'll be like, oh, can I do more damage than that? Okay, I'll just go for it, get hit, I'll do more damage in return, and I'll just play the game like that. That's why sometimes you'll see new players say, I almost beat Hordes, blah 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 blah, or I almost won this, or I won a round here and there. Because, or you might even see me play Masters and I always win with low HP on the stream or something. That is because sometimes I really just don't care about getting hit, and I just like, oh, I'm going to do more damage in the end anyway, so it just doesn't matter to me. Of course, that fails, and I die some rounds. I just don't lose the match eventually, because then I'll play a little bit more cautiously. But this is something that I like to do personally. You don't have to copy that, but I think that is an improvement over, it's kind of like mindless comboing. So you know what kind of combos you're gonna do. You know what kind of damage you want to do. You know what you want to do when you go in and attack. You don't randomly attack someone. You just know what you want to do. That's more of the point of this story. Alright, back to the top list. Number 3 is the string. I'm going to show the string in simple comparison. So, very, very simple, right? I have like six different fast attacks for forward. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why would you want to pay attention on your opponent's string counter, you wonder? Well, this attack is a lot less range than this attack. It's so simple. Let's compare. Stand still for a bit. Let's compare, right? I can't hit him here, but right now, stand still. I can. Right now I can. It's such a simple thing to do. It's not counting to 20, not counting to 200. It's counting 1 to 6. For Ryoko, for Judgment it's 1 to 3. For Phalanx it's 1 to 4, and I think for Pure it's also 1 to 3. Actually, yeah, 1 to 3. I think for Pure. So you don't have to count that much. And if somebody resets their string by using a balance attack or a heavy or something, you just incorporate that in your count. And what you create is what attacks your opponents can dish out. You know what your opponent's effective range is. You know where to stand, etc., etc. Which brings us to number 3 most done mistake. Like I said, the most done mistake here is not to recognize the string. Number 2 most done mistake is getting the wrong range and the wrong position. Let's fight for a bit. Let's fight. I'm walking away from his charges. And he just did a B2, and I perfectly stepped out of range. I don't want to step into his heavy range either, so I'm just going to stay out of it. You're noticing I'm not out parrying him. I'm not going higher stances. I'm staying in the weaker stance. But that's perfectly fine, because I know what string to use, and I know what range and position to use. The thing about this list is that even though I can show you everything everything in this list is something that you might be doing wrong, even if everything you do wrong is in this list and after this video you do everything right according to the video, you can't do everything at the same time. Stands, it's you have to outstance people, sure. However, if you have lower HP, you can't outstance people because then you have to go back to lower stance. So, you know, if you're in a position where 0.4 is effective and is in effect, then you can't use 0.5 because you have to go to higher stance to do that. If you if you have good range, even then you don't need your stance because lower stance will win because you have better range, you have better position, etc., etc., etc. If you know what string your opponent is on, if you know what string you're on, if you use that string to your advantage, then even then your HP is doesn't really matter because then you won't get hit in the first place. You know exactly how far your opponents can hit, and you know exactly how far you can hit. You know exactly what to do to get all the damage in without taking damage. So then the HP tactic. No HP. That's the way to use the play when low HP. But all these things, even though they don't really work together, well, they do work, but not in every situation. That's what I should say. Out of all these things, the number one defeats everything. The number one mistake, if you do that mistake, then no matter how good you are at range, strings, looking at your HP, adapting to your HP, adapting to your stance, adapting to enemy stand, no matter how good you are doing any of these things, if you do this wrong, it's all for nothing, which is your habits. Just play it around. Your habits. And just fight, fight, fight. So, everyone has a few habits, right? Habit, gameplay. I'm gonna try to demonstrate to you why habit is so bad. B2. Actually, I don't even need to show it. Of course, I lost the match, but I don't even need to show it. The thing is that as soon as you know what's going to happen on screen, like, I don't know what he's going to do now. He's probably going to charge balance right now, but as soon as I know what's going to happen on screen, I can just react accordingly. Even if it's the most perfect move in the game, if I see it coming, I can predict it and I can do something about it. Just like that. I saw it coming, I could just easily predict it. It's back in low HP. Let me see, how can I put an example to habits? There's a habit that I do, right? I'll do 1, 2, 3. Every time I hit you, I will do 1, 2, 3 most likely. But that's okay because I win and I do damage, so there's no problem with that, right? But maybe, no, he's gonna expect that 1, 2, 3. So right now I'm gonna do something else. And that hit him perfectly. Didn't see it coming. This is a simple example how changing your even most basic combo will get people off guard. Even the most experienced people will go off guard as soon as you got out of your basic combo. If your basic combo works, then it's fine, you know, there's no problem. If your basic combo works, then whatever. But the most mistakes people make are their habits, like go Ryoko and hit and spam my block. Go here for a bit. This is one of the most extreme examples of somebody with habits. This happens very often. Go Phalanx fast. Yeah, Phalanx fans. And this is one of the most commonly asked questions, how to deal with this. It's exactly the same way. It's very simple, really. And getting rid of this thing is also, I think, very simple. It's just a habit. So when you think, oh, I notice I press mouse 1 4 times, then maybe you should like, okay, I'll press it once, change stance, then press it to the left, maybe left balance or something. It's like simple things, but it changes everything. It makes a predictable opponent a completely different opponent. Like if he has the same habits and he played me with the same habits for a week, and suddenly out of nowhere he would change his habit, he would probably win. He would probably defeat me, and I would be like, what? Okay. And then I would have to adjust myself the next round. If I didn't adjust myself during the match. So adjustment to whatever doesn't work is important. I hope that covered everything in terms of player mistakes. This is one of the more useful tutorials I make, I think. I will make in the next like 3 months or something, like I said. But these are some of the most popular mistakes I see people make. The source that I use for this is the Sunday stream. The Sunday stream, I had people play me, I gave them advice, and this is like the most mistakes that I've seen out of that session. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Hope it was helpful. Hope I haven't rambled too much for you. Anyway, if you like this sort of footage, I have more tutorials like this on my YouTube channel. I have another top 5 list, which people do like, I have heard, so check that out. I got a Twitch channel where I do explain some things live, and you can fight me live on the Refinement server. I'm Huarts, and I hope to see you next time.